Hi.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Nikki and this is my book nook. Y'all, this is my first book review I'm doing of 2022 and it's been like 2 weeks and I feel all like giddy and excited because I've missed you so much. I don't feel like I know how to form words, but I'm gonna try my best. Today we are talking about The Maddest Obsession by Danielle. This is the second book in the Maid series. The Maid series is a mafia romance companion novel sort of series, meaning that each of the books focuses on a different couple and really is its own story, but there is kind of like an overarching story within them and characters that you see build throughout. But in all honesty, after reading this book, I do feel like there's a lot of companion novel series where I'm like, it's a series. You gotta just read the whole thing or you're gonna be confused. I honestly feel like with this series, I don't think you'd be too confused if you didn't read the first book. I had read the first book a while ago and honestly I felt like there were some pieces of it that were blurry to me, but it wasn't that big of a deal as I was reading this. Like, it's really its own story. So if you want to skip the first one is good. The Sweetest Oblivion, it was good, but this one blew it so far out of the water that I'm like, you genuinely just read this one. Just read this one because oh my god, it was so good. So the Maddest Obsession and the entire Maid series focuses on this mafia group within New York City called the Cosa Nostra. And much like all sort of mafia stories, mafia just in general, the way it is, it's a very like patriarchal, I have a college degree, patriarchal society. So the men are very much like in charge. The women are really just kind of used as like bargaining chips. There's a lot of like arranged marriage. They're used for like business deals. They really have like no say in what goes on. They are married to people that they're not in love with. It's all just a matter of like gaining power within the mafia. They trade around their women. That's how it goes. So this story in particular focuses on this girl named Gianna. She has had a very rough upbringing. Her father was a horrible man and she basically like at the ripe age of practically 18 was married off to a man that was like old enough to be nearly her grandpa. He was like 50 and she was like 18 or 19. And so obviously there's no like love within the marriage, but you do feel like as a mafia woman that you're like supposed to sort of like love and respect your husband. And so she was a young bright-eyed girl and like wants to try with her husband, but he's just like a horrible person, cheats on her every day, and she becomes very like hardened at a very young age. And she is not your typical little respectable mafia girl. She dresses not very appropriately. She says all the things she's not supposed to. She is honestly fabulous. I didn't love her in the first book of the series when we saw her. Like, I found her for various reasons. I didn't love her, but like as I read this book, I was like, I like you. I liked her a lot. Gianna is a troublemaker. She ends up in jail a few times, and this is where we kind of see the man of the story enter the picture. So his name is Christian Alistair. Most of the story he's called Alistair, so I'll probably refer to him as that in this video. But Alistair is a federal agent that works with the mafia, which is like a common thing. Apparently there's like people, allegedly, obviously, I guess there's like a lot of people in law enforcement and government in this story that secretly are working with the mafia, so they help each other out. Like, he helps to get people out of prison, stay out of prison, whatever. So at the beginning of the story, we pretty much see Gianna, which I will say the story does kind of jump around in timeline and point of view. So we do see Gianna, we do see Christian, we see Gianna in the past. Their story kind of spans over like many years, many meetings, and then there is like a present day story. So in the beginning, we're initially seeing Gianna and Christian meet because he is having to bust her out of jail because she got in on partying, drugs, whatever. And right off the bat, they do not get along. He is arrogant. He does not put up with her cute girl act. They just bicker and banter. And it's so fabulous. It's really funny. But they just like do not get off on the best foot. And we see throughout this story like several meetings over the years. Gianna, you know, is married throughout this story and she drives Alistair absolutely crazy, but it becomes very obvious that it's like he drives her so crazy that it's kind of like the lines between hate and love get very blurred. There's a lot of like angsty tension between the two, and we just see this journey of them where Christian is very like interesting. He as well, we learn, has like a really intense, crazy background. He's from Russia and he has been in prison before, and he has this obsession with the number 3. It's like an OCD sort of thing, like you see the number 3 card on the cover, and his biggest obsession with the number 3 is he only sleeps with the same girl 3 times. And that's kind of like a known thing and rumor about him. He's very good looking. He finds his way like into the media. He's always like kind of with like socialites and famous celebrities and stuff. He's kind of like all over the place. So him and Gianna have this like tumultuous relationship where every few years they end up coming back together, and they kind of despise each other, but they cannot stay away at the same time. It's very good. It's very spicy. Alistair is just, he's everything you want in like an enemies to lovers romance. Like, he is this hardened, kind of arrogant jerk, but he just says these lines that even though you want to punch him in the face, you also want to like jump his bones, you know how it is. And he just has this like deep care for Gianna, like touch her and you die sort of care, like stay away from her. And that's really this story. To be completely honest, I really liked this book. I give it a 4.5 because as much as I liked it, as interesting as it was, there really wasn't much of a plot to this. Like, I kind of struggled to find it at times. It's really just their relationship. It's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of jumping around in timeline. It's just seeing them come together, come apart, the struggles that each of them have personally and then together, and so spicy. Such a good time, such a page turner, but like there's not much to say as far as like a plot or a story. But honestly, you don't need that all the time. Like, it's just a good spicy read, and I'm so happy. Like, so many of you guys were telling me like after I read the Sweetest Oblivion that like I had to read the Maddest Obsession. A lot of you said it was your favorite, and I totally understand. I totally agree. This book was so good. I loved it. I don't honestly know if I'm gonna read the next book in this series, The Darkest Temptation, I believe it's called. I've not heard good things about that. I think most people don't like that book. A lot of people have said just skip it. I don't know. If you guys have read that book and you think I should read it, like, let me know down below. I know it's a Stockholm Syndrome situation, which a lot of people don't like, but honestly, I feel like I could be into. I don't know. You guys let me know. But yes, the names get so mixed up in my head. The Maddest Obsession was very good. It was a very good time. I'm very happy I read it, and I recommend it. But yes, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.